has been 2 great days of fantastic presentations and also very insightful panel conversations, shedding more light on how we can adopt productive use of solar energy with the aim of transforming key agricultural sectors.
As the coordinating body for the Dreem Hub program across the region, my message is simple. Let's have collective ownership. This is not a program for KCIC. It's not a program for Haifa, Uganda. It's not a program for WWF, Tanzania. We need to move this into a collective movement. To the entrepreneurs and the farmers in here, you are basically the reason we are here. Your success is the only thing we are looking at. It's the only metric that is key to this program. To our partners in government and the private sector, we ask for your support. Come and join us more deeply so that then we can make this dream a reality. Let us all own this. Let us all scale this. And let us lead it all together.
We very much want to do what we can to help you sustain the momentum that's building with the Dreem Hubs. This conference is a good example of ways to build and sustain that momentum. So I think it's fitting to remember the goals set out for this meeting, and I paraphrase, but they're basically sharing successful, innovative financing approaches, identifying opportunities for collaboration, learning from one another and showcasing new, innovative ideas, and exploring ways to bring more resources to the sector and create a conducive policy environment. These are big ideas. It's a lot of work. It's the work at hand. So let's get to it, and hopefully, when we get to the end of our time together, we'll all leave energized and ambitious, ready to go back home and continue the good work.
So I would say what started as an idea in 2023 has really grown into a movement for distributed renewable energy. In this year's conference, we are hosting it in Kenya. And we've received so far 120 plus participants from diverse stakeholders. When you interact with the stakeholders, one thing you get to learn is that they all appreciate that there is no need for us to duplicate efforts. We can all work together and amplify the impact.
The way the Dreem has been able to impact our work in Uganda is, number one, to be able to gather and mobilize ecosystem actors so that all of them now are on the same table and they are working together. We've been able to educate and also mobilize the farmers to enable them believe and understand that solar can as well power the various value chain, especially horticulture and dairy. We've been able to ensure that we train and skill young people who are acting as technicians and are providing support services within the ecosystem. Dreem has been able to build an infrastructure which now can be able to ensure that it can shoulder, other layers of, platforms of houses being constructed with the intent of ensuring that we can be able to support the food system onto the continent.
The concept of community is something that the world needs to learn from Africa, because there's the checks and balances. It's trust-based philanthropy. And perhaps the highlight really of the entire conference for me has been the fact that the community has come together to create this Dreem Community Fund, where 6 ideas from the community and generating money from the community, more than $700 that has been distributed across these 6 ideas. And these people have committed to go and work the money and come back next year with even more money that they will invest into even more ideas.
This time around, it has been more of sharing the experience, where we have these panelists from different angles in terms of thematic areas: conservation, agriculture, technology, business, financing. So where people really come and share experience and lesson, other than just doing the presentation in a traditional way, and that people cannot really do such kind of interactive conversation to understand or to share those kind of experience.
I enjoyed the conversations earlier. There's been a lot of panel discussions with maybe experts in the industry. So there was a lot to unpack and a lot to learn from that session. So mostly I've enjoyed the conversations and, the way the partners and the participants are freely sharing what is working in the agri-solar sector. So today's and this conference, I gain a lot, especially from other partners from Kenya and Uganda on implementing this Dreem Hub on different projects in agriculture, like in dairy value chain and in horticulture value chain, especially in processing of milk and preservations on the collecting centers. But what I learned that all it aimed at the same in reducing the post-harvest loss of the agricultural produce.
It's been very insightful, I think, to sit through these conversations the last 2 days. Coming from the equipment side, right? Agriculture is not necessarily what I would call our core subject. However, we have a general understanding that what people need is energy services, not just electrons themselves. And so learning from farmers, learning from microfinance institutions that are trying to support consumer financing for the farmers themselves, learning from the companies that are trying to innovate the technology, the solar-based technology that can be used in horticulture and dairy and value chains like fisheries, has been very interesting. And I think some of the ecosystem things that are coming out is that, one, this needs to happen more often. I think that's the most obvious still. There's still quite a bit of awareness gaps across the different sectors that are trying to intervene in solving the problem around electrifying agriculture.
Yeah, this conference has been really interesting for us, more so given the fact that we've been able to work in Tanzania as well, and more so especially given we've worked with WWF Tanzania as well, in rural Tanzania. This has been an opportunity to meet them again and get to be updated on what they're working on, along with other stakeholders such as the Mott Foundation. So it's been a really interesting day.
Yeah, there's quite a lot that has happened the last 2 days. The discussion centering around sustainability, around financing, around what happens after the funding from Mott. But I think for me, when I look at the discussions yesterday and today, the way the partners have become quite gelled together, and I think the conversations that have gone out so far point to the fact that all the Dreem partners who are selected by Mott Foundation to be able to implement the activities of Dreem 3.0. That synergy that we have created in the last 2 days, I think for me is the most important in terms of sustaining that momentum of conversations and support, post 2027.
Let's make Dreem an agricultural and economic reality within our region of East Africa.